It's on you, girl.
Okay.
I know. I usually take over, don't I? All right. Yes. I'm Cheese. Well, come on. You introduce it, cause this love language. Go ahead.
Okay, so welcome to the fourth love language show. Third. Okay, so today I am going to interview my partner in crime, my partner in love crime,
Ooh, love crime.
Chase Johnston-Lynch, who has published his own book. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Just received it in post today, and yeah, can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah, so I was privileged to be part of the emotional moment where you opened this beautiful cardboard box and revealed the beauties that lied within. And the book's called And Then She Was Gone. So, sir, can you please explain the reason behind the title?
That's a very good question. You know, I think you know, for me, you know, it's like I've been on a constant quest looking for love because I feel that like, and this is what I was hoping to open up to you about is that men too believe in a fairy tale. You know, you know, grew up believing, you know, that, you know, love is out there, you know, but it seemed to have always been intangible, you know, in my quest for it. You know, I was, you know, kind of like surrounded by other people's experiences. Maybe it had to do with my Asperger's that I didn't even know I had. You know, I was kind of like, as a kid, I was isolated and you know, went through like self-mutism and stuff like that, but I was constantly in my head, you know, and my imagination was vast, you know. Started out writing horror stories in class and everything like that, and so in experiencing or wanting to experience love is like, you know, who doesn't, you know? I mean, like, I didn't go to my prom.
Oh.
You know, because I didn't like, you know, and it was like my choice to think that I wasn't good enough to go.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean? And like, I had to date and everything else like that. But, you know, and I just thought that when I went to college, you know, that quest was still strong of like trying to find someone. And my first year was horrible, you know, and everything like that. And but my second year was magical, and because that's when the she arrives.
Okay.
You know, and in that aspect is that you could have these long moments of relationships, so it doesn't matter about time, right? But then what will happen is it started to come, you know, that she would leave, you know, and then she was gone, and so it inspired me to kind of like write a story because it was bleeding in me, right? It was bleeding in me, you know. It was like, you know, and I had to have real life, you know, experiences, but obviously I had to fantasize about them in a film context, you know, because as a lover of film and writer, I had to be able to embellish, you know, but at the core of it, which is like what I was trying to talk about with you, is that even men seek love, and we get a kind of like a bad rap, you know. You know, it's like you're always hearing the story, you're always facing the woman that has the baggage that wants to tell you about what happened to them, and I thought that maybe a story about a guy who tell you about what happened to him would be worthwhile reading.
Absolutely. I think it's such a good thing to do. It's a bit like men's mental health. You know, it's a taboo subject. It doesn't get talked about. And women's and men's brains scientifically are different. And, you know, they do things slightly differently because of the way that their brain functions. It's more about more survival mechanisms and things like that. So I think it's a good thing that you're doing because there's probably so many men who feel the same but who would not go to the local pub and open up and share that kind of stuff because It's fear, you know, they probably get beaten up or something like that, or judged, or...
It's not that. It's like we grew up, like, I mean, I'm in my 50s, so we grew up in a time where men were men, and we didn't share feelings. And, you know, and it's like, because there's that whole deal about how do adults make friends with each other? Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, when you're a kid, you know, punch them in the arm and, you know, all right, yeah, we're cool. But, like, as an adult, it's like, how do you share your feelings? And it's like, you know, I've been involved with various different, you know, counseling organizations, and like, and I'll give a shout out. I mean, like, I'm clear mind till I die, right? But in that aspect is that I love the fact that when I see men open up about themselves and their experiences, and they're not laughed at and they're encouraged, it's so much more exhilarating. It's so much more like, oh my God, I needed this release. Yeah. And that's what I think the book for me was I need a release. Like when relationships go bad, you know, I go down a well. Yeah. You know? And but I think what's important is I climb up out of that well. Yeah. Yeah. And then you punch me and I go down a well again. And because constantly what happens to the character of Chance in this book is that, like, you know, I wanted to show, it's kind of like Captain Marvel, about like how she always rises. I wanted to show that, like, you will always rise. Like, the book starts out where this guy wants to, like, end it all. Right. But if he ends it all, then he would miss out on all the life experience that he had gained by fortitude and going forward. Yeah. So I thought that the character was constantly, you know, being beaten down, not by like bullies or, you know, life, but by love. It's like, love shouldn't beat you down. This is what we're taught, right? But that's why, like, the cover itself, I think is amazing, because I helped design the cover in a sense where I wanted her to be any woman, really. That's why she's in silhouette. But if you notice that she's in the distance, because to me, as I said to you, is I think what the story is about the intangibility of love. It's about not the unrequitedness of love, but the intangibility of love. It's about being out of reach. But that doesn't mean it's never going to be yours.
So how do you feel about that? Like, thinking of it that way, that love is something that can't be kind of intangible, it's immaterial, you can't keep a hold of it, you know, it slips through your fingers maybe. How do you feel about that now?
You know, so not to give away the ending, but you know, you know what I mean? Again, like, you know, I have to throw in some life experience, right, to tell the story. And as a writer, what I've always found hard was writing the end of the story, because you you figure life continues and everything, or there's another chapter, and like so, you know, what it is that what it means to me is I am still a believer in love. I'm still a believer that in time you will find what you're looking for. But I had to have a character who, you know, succeeds. I mean, why read the book? If he's, what the hell kind of story is that? You know, he has to succeed. You know what I mean? So, you know, I mean, I would say there is a happy ending. Okay. You know, but then again, this is like life in the reality. You know, I'm finding it hard to believe in happy endings, but I want the audience to believe in a happy ending.
Let me ask you this question then, and the audience can participate in this, and if they want to put comments in, they can. Now, this is a workshop I'm running next week, and it's Soul Awakening workshop, and we coach through the different energy centers, the chakras, because they all contain a story and an imprinting. As we develop psychologically and physiologically through ages and stages, these spiritual centers develop with us as well. So obviously we're talking about the spiritual center of the heart. So there's lots of coaching questions, but let me just ask you this one question, seeing as how we're talking about the book. If you were to write the last chapter, if this was the autobiography of your life in terms of love, how would that last chapter end?
You know what? I love that quote from the Marigold Hotel, whatever it was. You know, like, if it's not over, it's not the end.
Yeah, it's not
Do
over
you know?
till the fat lady sings. type of
No,
thing.
man. But, yeah, it was said much beautifully in that movie. There's no fat lady. If it's not over, then it's not the end, or something like that. So I would believe that the journey continues.
How does the last chapter of your love life end in reality? So there's, let's say time's an illusion, yeah? Everything exists in the present moment, where all the past is happening to us as we experience it in memory, and we can quantum leap into our future by visualizing it. Everything starts with thought, so if everything is created through a thought, you can imagine your future, talking about love, tuning into the heart center. How does the last chapter of your life end?
Wow, that's deep. That's very deep. So the way I could see it is like The Secret. Yeah, the law of attraction. I'm a believer in that big scene in the movie where the guy is surrounded by clutter in his house and his children are outside playing on the swing, and he should be out there playing, but he's a workaholic and stuff. And he sees a picture in the corner of the room, and it's a picture of the swing, kids, and a house that he's actually living in.
Right.
And he realizes that, what the hell am I doing, man?
One day it'll be too late.
No, I've actually achieved everything I wanted to achieve.
Got it.
Why am I sitting here?
See, when
And
you're
I'm
not
not
enjoying
out
it.
there enjoying life with
yeah.
my future.
That's amazing, isn't it?
It is.
So, what he's telling himself is
Stop.
that
Breathe.
cycle of keep going, keep going.
You don't
going.
have to,
You can't stop and embody what's going on. Now that could be true of how you perceive love as well. That if we're always searching out there, we don't know when we've actually got it.
Yeah. Well, you said the last chapter, so I want to believe that that will be the case. So it's not here yet. The last chapter's not here yet.
So how will it end? Tell me. Just give me the
It
and
ends
the
with
final
happiness.
sentence. Give me the final sentence.
It ends like Winnie the Pooh. You know,
It gets the honey.
it ends like Winnie the Pooh. It ends with happiness. Love found, not gone. The life that I've forever dreamed of is possible. And know how I know this is to be true? Because it's right here.
Okay.
This book, Arriving Today, is the end product of 18 years
Wow.
of sitting in a closet.
Wow.
18 years of sitting in depression,
Wow.
probably, right? I've never given up on the dream that I could write.
Would you say that was love?
I love writing. And that's what I would hope and believe that is what will happen in my last chapter of love too. I'm not going to give up and think that this is my life as it is now.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm putting it out there that I want that to be the case. But this is the proof that it can happen. This arrival today is a proof that, like, never give up on your dreams.
Yeah.
Right? Never be told who you are. Right? Because I had to make this happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And it's happened. It fills my heart with joy.
Yeah.
And the same thing can happen with love. And so the last chapter, I will have found it. And I will be living it to its fullest.
Yay! Amen.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Wow, that was amazing.
Yeah. Well done, Chase.
Well, thank you. And, I would just like to say is, like, if you've been watching us every week for the lovely Anne-Marie Mayers, is that, like, she's always got something heartfelt and good to say. And the person that I wanted to do this first interview with was her interview. And, what she does with her soul awakening, spiritual coaching, I recommend highly. So why don't you tell everybody what's happening? What you say, this weekend?
It's next week. So next Thursday, Friday, over on the Wirral, got the Soul Awakening.
The Wirral,
The dark side. The Soul Awakening Academy in Hamilton Square. I've been working on some really big projects. I've been very close to the edge of mental exhaustion. So I've not been taking my own medicine. I know. Time to walk, talk or whatever. So we've got the Soul Awakening Foundation workshop next Thursday and Friday, which basically coaches you through the first 4 spiritual centres, lots of meditations, some spiritual EFT in there as well, and lots of transformational coaching. And then on the Saturday, I'm representing Liverpool for a MOM, which is a moment of mass meditation. So the whole of the UK, 30 cities, over 10,000 people are meditating at the same time. So if you'd like to join, just follow my business page, Soul Awakening Academy, and hit the follow button at 12 o'clock. I'll be live guiding you all through a meditation.
Oh, so they don't have to come to you?
No, they don't have to come to me. I'm literally just going to go live and people can join and follow from wherever they are. And if they're a yoga teacher or they have a meditation centre and they want to hold their own group, they can do that. Just get in touch. You just need to download an app from the Heart Math Institute, which is a global research company that measures heart coherence via meditation and mindfulness. And this is all in aid of obviously working towards world peace and well-being, really.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's next Saturday?
Next Saturday, the 11th of May, yeah.
All right, and I'm pretty sure we'll talk about it again on next week's love language and everything. But, you know, I would like to thank Anne-Marie Ramirez for being the first person to interview me on this book, and couldn't think of anybody better. I will also talk about it again on Afternoon Delight with the lovely Beck Waterfield, who, you know, we get a little bit saucier. So, you know, Anne-Marie doesn't like the sauce. You know what I mean? So, I mean, like, you know, when you get into the book, this is not a book for children, by the way. So, you know, it's filled with sex and, you know, and that kind of stuff. Not really. Yes, sir. No. Just lock up, actually.
I bet you're very proud of it, aren't you?
But thank you very much for that, Amy.
Thank you,
and thanks for joining us. Thank you guys for listening. And this will premiere later on this afternoon on Calendar Online. Mm-hmm. So this has been In Place of Love Language this week.
Amen to that.
Amen to that.